Playing at your best and you will get left. If it don't involve money, then I don't accept. If it don't involve money, then I don't accept.
We're live. I had to run from the computer.
You should have started it over there. Just,
My normal yelling of had to come as I walked over because I forgot to put the stream deck in
You
before.
can start doing it from further and further away each time.
But we are live here, Behind the Counter Podcast, live on Insane Games TV. Hope everyone had a great weekend, a great week. We're getting ready to start off another week here at the store and at the channel. Hope everyone had a great Monday, Easter. Yeah. We all had a nice day off. Only 2 days a year that the mall is actually closed. I mean, we did have 4 months in 2020 when we were closed, but normally
regularly.
normally the only day where we're actually 2 days that we're actually closed here in the mall is Christmas and Easter. So I thought about that Saturday when I was driving down. I'm like, there's only 2 days that the mall is normally closed. Only 2 days. Sunday of Easter and whatever day Christmas falls on. But nice little day off. It's always nice to have a Sunday off. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was relaxing.
I hate coming in on Sundays to begin with, but it is, you know, it's the day that's kind of like you're off, and but you know, so it's nice to actually have a Sunday off, and I know that's how I feel. I'm sure you guys probably enjoyed the Sunday off. Dave streamed though, and I streamed, so we still kept the shows going. And how was your Sunday stream?
So I got to try Knockout City. Which I don't know if you guys know, but it's developed. Yes, this was an open beta just for that weekend, and it's being developed by a video game company that's actually based in Troy. And they have Knockout City, and the only other title that they've based out of is the other game that I've played on stream, Mario Kart Live.
Oh, okay.
That's their pedigree, so I'm going to be reaching out to them because they do have a presser thing, but. Man, 3v3 dodgeball. You would think that sounds like an enormous headache or like kind of lame, but it was a lot of fun. They definitely borrowed from Fortnite. They borrowed from a lot of the competitive rankings, things like that. The lobbies, I never waited more than 2 minutes for a game to start, considering they had to get 6 people. It was good.
I did actually see some of that game. It was pretty cool, though. So when you hit someone with a ball, they get trapped inside of it.
Yes.
And then you can throw it off the map.
Yes, you
and that's how you kill them. Right. That game is pretty sweet. I watched for a little while, but very interesting. Is it free to download now?
It is. Actually, the open beta is now closed, and I will get neither hide nor hair of it until the end of May.
Closed yesterday, didn't it?
Yes.
Last night.
Yesterday at 9 p.m. when I was still trying to play with Steve and Vladdy and a bunch of other folks, and then we're in the middle of a game about to huck, and then pulled the plug.
Did it actually allow you to keep or at 9 o'clock in the middle of a game?
9 o'clock, they just yanked the plug on it.
Even if you're in the middle of a game, they just shut it off?
Yep.
It's pretty bold. Done. You would think like, oh, it's 9 o'clock. We'll let the game. I mean, but
the smartest thing they did though is then the second it disconnected, it wasn't just you've been disconnected to the lobby. A splash screen came up. Thanks so much for playing in the Knockout City beta. If you have reviews, go here. Like, and it was immediate, like where I was like, okay, I will go to their Discord.
Well, yeah, that'll be interesting to see what happens with that game. I'll have to.
When's it come out? May
21st.
There you go. Yes, there you go. Yeah, so Dave was Sunday. We had Danny NASCAR last night, so that was a lot of fun. So the streams are here. We were able to get everything still on the channel. So I hope everyone had a great Easter. And we're back out of here, back at the store. It's a Monday.
Speaking of Danny NASCAR, I brought in something for a little present for the store that I mentioned yesterday, but hit it over here.
He hit it?
Oh.
Class, what's going on, man? Welcome
Yes.
to the stream. Whoa.
Is this never been open?
Oh no, it's been open.
Oh,
It's been in my closet for like.
You
20
gonna open it
years.
up?
Yeah, but if it was never open, then I wouldn't have. But I definitely want to see this bad boy.
It's even got the.
Oh
lock
God!
on it.
So tell the viewers at home what Mike is opening.
It is a 124 scale Tony Stewart reverse scheme that he ran in
The reverse one.
2004.
Ooh.
Oh, shit.
We'll get it for the store.
I'll bring it up for a close view real quick.
Tony's mic and his
Controversial, yeah. Fan favorite, Tony Stewart. And my favorite.
You put him up in the front?
What's that?
Put him up at the front.
Oh, yeah, that should do the top down, right?
Whoa! Claps, amazing. Claps, welcome to the stream, man. Flip Juice, welcome to the stream. Love Alec, what's going on? Vladdy, what's going on? Amp Slayer,
Pop
welcome
out
on in,
there.
everybody. Yeah, it's neat, Steve. So, Steve, how many die-casts do you actually have in general? Like 1/24 scale, like how many do you actually have?
Oh, you'll need to give me a second.
I know your 1/64 scale collection far supersedes mine.
You mean just
and
a
as
moment.
far as where, I mean, I got a good. I think my collection's older though. You have your collection's newer. Mine's like 2000s, and but you have 2000s too though.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
One moment, I'll get back to you.
Sup, Dan? Sup,
Some
Alec?
serious research going on.
Do you have a list of them somewhere?
No, I was gonna make a list out though.
You should. I have a list of candles, and I keep track of what candles I have. Do we not all have a list of something?
Do you
You actually have a
stats
written list
for
of
it?
all your candles?
Yes.
You freak.
Nope. I have so I have a lot of, as it all knows, everyone has their thing that may be a little weird, I guess.
How many candles do you have that
I
you
have
actually
a lot
need
of
to
candles.
inventory?
It actually is to the point where it needs to be inventoried.
Do you
Do
just
you-
buy them because it's fun?
I buy because I have them all over the place. Candles are very relaxing, Mike. When I'm streaming next to me, I always have a candle lit. There's one on the
I never
kitchen
see
table.
one.
I have some in my living room. There's one in the hallway. There's one in my bedroom. There's one on my desk. One in the bathroom. And then you have seasonal ones. So they got to go out. They get changed every. There's a lot of them.
For that list, do you like use it to document how long it burned for, or just the name and the scent?
I have the list keeps track of the ones that I have, and then I also flag them when they need to be replaced. I'll put them in yellow. Like,
So
I'm
when
almost
Johnny
out.
comes over, do you just have them all flagged?
No, I have a cabinet that I open up, and they're all in the kitchen cabinet. And they're and of course now Yankee Candle has a whole new style of the jar. So now it's like when you collect something, all of a sudden there's like a new car. Let's say you buy a new car. It's like, oh, now there's a whole new model out. Some people want a whole new model. Or hey, let's say you get a TV, and now they got the slim monitor or the slim candles. I gotta get that one now. Or the Xbox gaming systems. You have a PlayStation 4 and the PlayStation 5. Oh, I gotta get that one now.
Candles.
You don't have anything you guys have make a list? Hey, is there anything that you have that you would make a list for that maybe you haven't done yet?
There is something that both Mike and I have a long list for.
It's the pops. But
Okay, no different. Yours is
this
on the
is something
website.
that a lot of people do, and
No.
they have a specific app for doing
First
so.
off-
I don't
first
see any
off,
candle apps where you
If
can scan the
Yankee- no,
candles
no,
and
no,
see the
no.
value
If
of
Yankee
them.
Candle had a way of making it a website where I could put what
They have a
candles I
way.
I would
Fair,
just
Claps,
put them
fair.
on the website. No different. So let's say Pops didn't have a website. You wouldn't make a list of it?
Probably not.
You would
Oh,
not
I'd have
make
a
list.
picture, I
Let me
guess,
get this
probably,
straight.
of
you
them.
would not make a list of what Pops you have if,
No.
if Funko did not have the app.
I don't have a
believe that
list
one
of every
second.
single one of my video games
You
I
wouldn't make a
own.
list of Funko?
Nope. No, if not for the apps, I would have gone to every single convention and gone, they made another Venomized? Well, I'm out. I would have been out way sooner, too.
Amp Slayer, 110%. You cannot forget the Dan Dead to Dan list. There's one of those. So I have two.
So do you have all these candles put around a picture of like Jeff Gordon or somebody
No.
else?
Is it in the shape of Jeff Gordon? Is it one of those homage dieu?
No. Now you're just mocking the situation.
Are you
No,
using them
The
for like?
situation is simply I have candles in a cabinet, and then I have an Excel sheet in
Let
which
me
I
phrase
have.
it another question. Are you holding rituals at your house
No.
or something?
Let me put it this way. Power could go out in the middle of the winter, okay, for a week and a half, and I could heat my apartment with the amount of candles.
Oh, they don't have that much
Hear that,
heat.
Texas? Dan's more prepared than you.
I have enough candles where I can physically heat my apartment if we lost power, let's say, for 2 weeks all of a sudden from a huge winter storm.
I don't think you'll get heat from it, but you'll be able
You
to
can
see
get
in the
heat
dark.
from it. One jar you can get heat from.
Mike,
I guess your hands.
while you and I are kind of grilling Dan,
he's looking so
lists
sneaky
over here
there.
is literally going
extremely sus.
and then writing a year, a name, and or the model of the car. He is literally writing that list from memory.
You're really writing your list out as we're talking?
Yeah.
Like, and it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. There is 20 on that list already.
Well, do you have a rough idea of how many you have?
What are you writing down?
Is it 50?
What die cast he has?
Probably around 35.
100.
You have 35 124 scale die cast.
Roughly scattered around my house and here.
You have 3 of them over here. Maybe more. 3.
How many of the little ones? Hundreds?
I have
Are you willing to admit how many?
You don't have to give an
old
exact
backpack
number.
that I had in elementary school. Like one of the big mountaineering backpacks. Almost full. I have like multiple shelves strewn about my room of diecast.
Pretty
I don't know
sick.
how Nicole deals with it.
Make a list of 184 scale cards. We have a few of those over. Those are 187, right?
Yeah.
We have a few of them on the set over here. Steve plants them around the studio and hides them, and then I find them randomly.
Clip saying I have 1,000 of them, Mike. He's upping your ante.
You definitely, I could see people getting a lot of them once you start. They're all very unique and somewhat cool. So
I don't know about you guys, but I run into those just at the most random places.
Oh, you can find them. Like you can find them at like garage sales. You can find them.
Hobby Lobby, Walmart.
Those
Tar-
cars?
Yeah,
They don't have the 124 scale cars. They don't have too many NASCAR ones, do they?
They used to.
they don't have not much anymore, but there's always one or two.
They have the normal cars.
Yeah.
You can get like the pickup truck. Like now they have like the new series, like the pickup trucks and like the sport cars and that. But the NASCAR ones are normally difficult to find.
Amp Slayer goes, but the question is, how many 1-to-1 scale cars does everyone got?
Dan, you got to get a Jeff Gordon car before you're end of
Maybe we'll
days.
have one of those. Maybe we'll have one of those where they bring the Jeff Gordon cars out here and we have a weekend of.
Take
iRacing?
pictures with it.
Oh my God, we could definitely contact iRacing and be like, by the way, put your rigs in here. It's a fully locking up setup, and you only have to keep Dan away from it at night.
There we go.
Says it
My
like it's
Walmart never
easy.
restocks 64s. 164 scale car. Yeah, we talked about this 2 weeks ago. There's a lot of vultures out there that go right in there. And there's specialty items, no matter what store you go to, that people are jumping in there. Like rather it's the Switch, PS5, Xbox Series X. You have those people that go in there and they're just buying them to resell them. And there's a lot of those for the 164 scale cars. They buy them for $4.99, and then you go and they sell them for $11 online. It may not seem like a lot, but when you're,
What's
Right.
going on, Ariella? You know what? While we're on the topic of scalpers, have you guys noticed a large influx during the days of people coming in and asking if we sell Pokemon cards?
yes.
And just Pokemon cards. Not Yu-Gi-Oh!, not Magic the Gathering, not anything else, just Pokemon cards.
I have seen a good amount more lately. People definitely have been asking for them.
Well, yeah, there's been a lot of people coming in and asking. I don't know if there's some crazy thing going on with them or not, but it's everyone. Yeah, people have been in asking for a lot. So I
They
know,
wanna-
I knows that comment's been picking up. Amp Slayer, eBay is your best friend for older one. It is. eBay is probably your one best shop to get 124 scale cards at a discount. I mean, you can get them anyway. You can go to it's not Action Now, but it's Lionel, or you can go to like some of the sites that sell them, but they're just more expensive. eBay, you can try to get some of the old ones that are actually discounted or on a bid. You can try to steal one with a bid. Who
Now
really
he's
bids?
correcting the list.
Ah.
He originally just put the year and the driver. Now he's putting the specific car model on it.
Specific. But quite frankly, when's the last time anyone's bidden on an item on eBay? I haven't.
It's been a long time.
When's the last time you actually went to eBay and bid? I mean, Steve, you probably have. Yeah. All right. When's the last time you went on eBay and was actually bidding for an item? That wasn't a buy now. I just buy them now.
Certain parts of my video game collection that have gotten away, and I do not want to pay the premiums for them. So I've bid on a couple of them, and then they've gone way over what I wanted to pay for it, and I'm out.
Yeah. And Walmart, or not Walmart, but eBay's kind of. Ever since our store got removed from eBay because we had a .013 return problem, and it was like something that just could not be fixed. Like no matter what we did, to do the math on that, it was like we had like 300 orders on eBay, and like 2 of them had an issue. And eBay was like, nope, we're shutting your store down. That's so unacceptable. And I remember that whole thing. I think it was during.
It was pretty absurd.
We're in the Northway Plaza, and they're like, nope, we're shutting you down. You have a .013. Well, I forget the rate, what the name they called. It wasn't defective rate, but it was like I don't know what the rate was, but it's just like, and you haven't improved on that. Well, how can we improve on it? I don't know how we can improve on that type of ratio.
You gotta powder the ass of that one person who gave you a bad review. You gotta be like, please, change it to a 2-star review, 3-star, please. Can I?
Right? Mark, what's going on? Flip Juice, that's a whole separate business. But it's eBay. Ever since that happened, I have absolutely zero interest of buying stuff on eBay, and I don't think I have in quite some time. I don't know. Where did this conversation start into?
Collecting. You have a list of candles.
I'm calling you a freak for inventorying all your candles.
I don't care. And you know what? When we watch Game of Thrones, it was on. We lit some candles when we watched Game of Thrones. We had candles.
That was
lit.
badass as hell, Mike. That was badass. All the lights off, just candles as you walked in. Dun 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 dun. Then Dan took out a sword, and I was like, oh no.
I think our record was 20 candles lit at once. So if you're gonna be
candles
doing
adds a little ambiance to the room when you're
spell that.
No.
Why?
Because I'm not.
Call his bluff. Try to spell it. What's Mike gonna
That is
Yeah, but what's Mike gonna do at the time?
The real bluff is I don't really know how to spell it myself. Maybe.
Mark, anything on those cars I left there? Honestly, Mark, I don't think they're still over there. I don't think I've had the time to look at them yet. There's that phone ring. If I had to guess, Spectrum. But no, they're still over there. But I'll have to take a look at them. Told you.
Do you want me to go pick up and screech?
They just keep calling for it. I don't know what they're looking for. AC Weezy, Dan lighting candles and taking out his sword.
Nice.
By the way, Austin, I popped into Monday Night Gaming last week, no look, and I made a comment, or no.
It was no look.
Was it
no look or Thirsty
Thursday?
Thirsty Thursdays, maybe. No, it was no look. But I made a comment about I was smoking an Alec Bradley cigar, and they're like, "Is it April Fool's?" I go, "Nope. I was really smoking an Alec Bradley cigar. That's another thing I collect. Cigars. I should make a list for that."
Do you collect them?
I have quite the cigar collection.
And is it collecting if you use them up?
I don't know. I think it is. I think a lot of people like to taunt the ones that they have. They like to open their box and they got them all neatly.
What's the box called, Dan?
Tom gets them in, and then he reorganizes them the way he likes them.
So the way that works is Tom has a really nice collection, and then he gifts Dan all the ones he hates, and then Dan has his own collection of shit ones.
I like light cigars. Tom like Daniel. I like light cigars, so I have I get the ones that I like though are expensive. Unfortunately, they're like really really expensive ones.
When are you gonna get us some Cubanos?
Claps, if your neighbor is blasting loud music, join in with it. Sing louder than their amp system. Put an amplifier against the adjoining wall and just blast something.
But Mark, nonetheless, thanks for hopping in. AC Weezy, thanks for popping in. You can catch AC Weezy No Look podcast right after us tonight and Monday Night Gaming. If I had to guess, probably Warzone. I think Austin's been taking it down in Warzone.
He got over 100 wins. He should play some Warzone. Show people how it's done. Make sure that OC5 knows that he's got some people gunning for him, gunning for his spot.
But let's talk a little news. We didn't talk a little bit about it last week, but the whole Xbox coming out with the new Xbox network. And remember we had the big argument here on set. It was like a month or two ago. Tom was here, and we were arguing about they were trying to change the price to. They got rid of the 3-month. They got rid of the $9.99, and it was just a flat $14.99, I believe, moving forward. And Xbox, I gotta imagine them doing that originally was to get ready to announce the whole network thing. But I think they kind of botched the whole the whole reveal of that, and it led to some backlash, which Xbox then came back and said, nope, forget that. We're not going to do that. And now a month later, they announced the so-called Xbox Network, which is more aimed, I think, people taking advantage of the free play to, what's the wording? Play to game, just like Fortnite,
Free to
Warzone.
play.
That was moist. I mean, I don't know, Mike. I mean, you're Xbox like myself. Is that going to affect you at all?
Just the name change of it?
It's the whole network. So now you have the Xbox Network. So now, it's not, when you go on Xbox Live, it's not so much Xbox Live anymore. It's the Xbox Network. And that allows you to get all the free-to-play games. And then that allows you to do that, which you don't pay for, I guess. But now they have a name for the stuff you don't pay for. And now you have the Xbox Live over here. Obviously, you have to pay for to play.
Oh, okay.
Black
It's
Ops
basically
multiplayer. I guess it's a way of just separating
they
the
basically
two.
changed the name of Xbox Silver, it sounds like. But you can play the free-to-play games on it now.
Yeah, I guess that's a good one. They got
If
rid of silver, basically.
If you had an account but you weren't paying for gold, it was just a silver account. But now that comes with a little bit more, I guess.
Xbox is always, it can never just be easy like PlayStation. Xbox is always trying to just make it, just stick with Xbox Live. It's just so difficult. You know what I mean? Like, why go through and change what seems to have worked for so long?
That is their problem.
I don't know.
Microsoft's problem is they push too far too quickly. Sony's problem is they watch Microsoft do that, laugh, and then do it 2 months later.
Pretty much.
And whereas Nintendo's the one that's just pulling a Goku and just teleporting around everywhere. And you're like, how the hell are you so good at all these things? And Nintendo's like, don't worry about it, all right? I got a guy.
Pretty much. Vladdy gifting out some subs. Thank you so much, Vladdy. We appreciate it. Easy Weezy. Warzone until a better game comes out. It's true. There really hasn't been much coming out. Gonna get back into Apex though. Whoa, that's I've heard a couple people talking about getting back into.
I have been hearing rumblings of Apex, but I don't know about all that.
It's been getting. I've noticed some people have been talking more and more about Apex. On a side note, when does Battlefield come out? Is that projected to be coming out anytime soon? The new Battlefield.
I haven't heard anything about it.
Brothers in Arms are talking about it's coming out soon. And I heard some other guy in the store. I meant to look it up the other day. I don't think, but I guess they have they're doing a big, kind of like Warzone, where it's a big free-to-play, and they get the big open map.
Fall 2021 is Battlefield 6's release date.
Just the normal season, the normal gaming season. Yeah, so ways to go on that one. Vladdy, you're welcome. Vladdy the GOAT. Easy Weezy, Vladdy everyone should just make the switch to PC. A lot of people have been doing that too. More and more people getting PC games and building PCs and setting all that up. It doesn't. I mean, it costs a little bit more. But you don't have to. I mean, at some point when you go and you're spending the $500 on an Xbox or a PlayStation. I mean, I guess. But then again, once you do that, you don't have to. It's not like you have to keep upgrading your PS5s.
Until they come out with the 1S and the Series 1X. And
then everyone's got to get the new ones. And then everyone's like, oh.
But, no.
But yeah, Godzilla and Kong came out last week, Dave. I heard you watched that already.
Did you take it in?
I did, and I managed to go spoiler-free. Surprise, surprise, not a lot of people were all that like, oh, controversial thing in Kong vs. Kong, and like making posts about it. But I managed to avoid spoilers, and then I sat down in the living room, Savannah, and I had some of the members of the Garnted Cult, and we sat down and we watched it and did a riff tracks over top of some of the things.
Did it meet your expectations?
So spoilers ahead for anyone who hasn't seen it or hasn't want to see it. Just mute the tab up above. Don't mute the stream, because otherwise then you don't count as viewer. Help us out. And when we wave like this, we'll finish talking about it. It did. It very much did. Although not nearly as nerdy as it could have been. Not nearly. It was.
Didn't
So
push
what you're
the
saying
nerd
is it's a
factor.
badass movie then? If it
What
wasn't-
I'm saying is
a little casual for my taste. A little casual, a little pandery to the plebes who don't understand the greater Godzilla.
So when was the last Godzilla that came out? What year was the last one?
Like 2 years ago.
Oh, really?
So from which company? Because there's
Is there a
the
series?
American company, and then there's the Japanese company that's always made Godzilla films.
American.
So the American one was like 2 years ago, was King of Monsters, and
So
this
did
was
it
a
meet
continuation.
waiting 2 years?
Oh yeah, hell yes.
Was
Yeah,
it
yeah.
better than the last one?
On the auspice that it had a lot. It had the problem of it had a lot of open ends and it had to solve some of them like quickly. Yes. But the burning question that I know everyone needs to know the answer to: who predicted what? Who predicted who would win?
We all said.
Everyone was Godzilla except
Right.
me.
So
Was there a clear answer to that?
I mean, Your Honor, I have some clear evidence as to who won that one.
Or did they pull a
There
Batman
was-
versus Superman?
There was multiple rounds of the fight. The first encounter, Kong was chained to a boat while they were transporting his ass somewhere else. Godzilla came up. Godzilla obviously won that round. Then they were fighting in the city, and Kong had a weapon of some sort that negated the breath weapon, and Kong won that one. But then, like 10 minutes after that scene, Godzilla just hulked up and brutalized the crap out of Kong, and Kong had to have his little human helpers resuscitate him back to life.
Whoa!
So, I mean, they're going to claim, well, it was round 1 Godzilla, round 2 Kong, but only one of those two critters needed some human help getting the back to life. So they did do they're fighting, mutual baddie comes, and then they work together to fight the mutual baddie. However, much like old style WWF, where they spent the entire time still going at each other, the whole fight, pretty good. A lot of references to pop culture. So there was a reference to Lethal Weapon. There was a reference to Back to the Future. There was a reference to Jaws. There was like overt references to all this pop culture in it, and I liked it. It was fun.
That sounds good.
When was the last Kong movie? Do they have? Are either one of these? Is this movie at all? Is it the same Kong that was in another Kong movie?
Yes, Kong on Skull Island was
It's the same Kong.
that King Kong.
Okay, all right. And the Godzilla, did it match up with the other Godzilla movie or no?
It did match up with the 2 American Godzilla films. The first one with Bryan Cranston, and then the one that had the actress from Stranger Things.
All right, so it's not like they created 2 different brand new Godzilla, brand new Kong.
Yeah.
That happened to me. So they do have their own individual movies.
Yes.
I have history.
Yeah, so this is now the 4th film in that bubble, and they did a great job showing all the people that they had beat it. Can you spoil it if they all end the same? True. Although they did reference the old Kong versus Godzilla. They're like, oh, the ancestors fought, and like we're not sure who won. And I was like, ooh.
Sounds like a little bit of a boxing match. Says claps to Dave. And wait, Dan, did you get a clip from? Yes, I did get it. I didn't see it yet, but I did get it. I did see that it came through.
So they did, Mike. Kong did get that one moment in.
He
With
did
the
get
tree.
something in his mouth.
Yep. Like, ah!
But he survived it. So.
Yes.
I heard it's getting pretty good reviews, so I'm definitely going to have to watch it.
I was gonna say, as long as they have that little reference, then I suppose it would be a complete.
I won't necessarily spoil the ending, except that they made it so that those two don't have to constantly be fighting each other, but are now no longer in the same place.
No.
Like, all right, guys, that's enough.
Take it outside.
But yeah, and then Mortal Kombat coming out, I think in 2 weeks, but it got delayed a week. So I don't know what for. I couldn't tell you. I don't know what goes into those decisions. Oh, we're gonna delay the movie by 1 week. I mean, I guess I don't really understand what goes into.
Maybe they
making
were
those
putting it
types of
around
decisions.
and people were reviewing it poorly, so they just are making some last
Either
minute
the movie's
changes.
like ready to go or it's not ready to go. I don't really know what 1 week.
Yeah, I
is,
wonder
but-
what you can do. It might be something with distribution
Like,
to make sure the
maybe. I just-
theaters
it's just
get it.
baffling. I'm just like, you think like, oh, we're delaying it a month. Oh, we're delaying it 6 months, 3 months, next year. We're gonna delay it 1 week. I'm just like, okay, that makes like literally no sense, but
It's to make sure all the Burger Kings have the Mortal Kombat cups.
it's true. But
I
I
like
did
it,
hear
actually.
that it's close. It's very, very close. It was very, very close to being NC-17, and they had it came very, very close. The director came out and said
why they just have to snip out 4 scenes.
he said it came very, very close to it. So it must be their fatalities are pretty absurd.
It looks like reading this article from Variety that it was so it wouldn't compete with Godzilla vs. Kong a lot.
Bending
they are,
the
but
knee.
they-
So Godzilla vs Kong's doing so well that Mortal Kombat has to zhuzh its entrance another week.
I don't
Hey,
blame 'em,
I'll take
really.
Like I
that.
said, they were pretty on top of each other, and they're both Warner Brothers. They're both coming out on HBO Max.
I didn't know that.
So
yeah.
they're kind of the same companies doing it, and so I guess maybe that now makes a little bit of sense that it was more because of it interfering with
Company money.
Okay, this is like the first official movie to really come out in the middle of quarantine that I can think of anyway.
And it could be something very, very interesting. It could be some timing with the whole having HBO Max. You make it. I wonder what was the date Kong came out? This week, right?
Yes, this Wednesday.
I wonder if it's exactly 1 week after a month. So you have to renew for another month.
Ooh.
You know how much money they get off of that? Because right now,
Oh man, how
if Kong
filthy
and,
would
and
that be?
Godzilla, I think originally within 2 weeks, you can pay for 1 month, get both of them, and then not renew. If
I
now
wouldn't be
Godzilla,
surprised if that was it
if
right
Mortal
there.
Kombat now moves to exactly like a couple days after a month, you have to pay for another month to get Mortal Kombat. I bet you that's the reason why they pushed it back a week. If I had to guess.
There you
Looking
go.
at all them free subscriptions, going many.
If I had to guess, but I am not in that business, so I can't tell you. I thought it was a little bizarre, though, that it was a week delay, and that was about it. But, oh well. Mike, you had a question. We were supposed to do it last week, but we talked so much about paper bags here in New York that we got delayed. Which, by the way, I did find myself in a situation, I think it was Friday, and I thought of it walking up. I was carrying like 8 bags, and I'm trying to get like, yep, this is what we talked about on Monday, where I'm trying not to come back down to the car. I'm trying to carry as much as possible.
Did you one trip it?
Yes.
Why don't you just buzz Tom and tell him to
He
get
wasn't
his
home.
skinny legs down there and get some
He wasn't
up?
home. However, with that paper
Whoa.
bag, I felt like a fool yesterday or 2 days ago. I was putting. You ever had? Maybe it happened to you guys or not. I was putting stuff in a bag, and I don't know what it is. Maybe I don't know about you, Steve. But I always I find it a little weird. Obviously, with Danny NASCAR, we give out die casts, so I gotta go get the die cast. So I'm at Target getting some of the die cast. I always kind of like look around, like, is everyone gonna be looking at me buying like 10 die cast
Am I
cards
gonna
or
be
5
a
die
freak?
cast? I'm always kind of like, I feel like insecure. I'm looking around like, I get that. Like, do you ever get that a little bit? Like, I just kind of like looking around like, and so I'm putting them in the bag, and I got a couple of the haulers. I think we didn't give them away yet, but I got a couple of the haulers. So I put 2 of those in the bag, and I got a couple cards, and when I put them in the bag, the bottom of the bag looked weird, but I was just like, whatever. And I put them in the bag, I cash out, put them in, and I go to put, and the bottom of the bag just open, and they all fell in the middle of the floor, and I'm just like, so of course, now I'm like, okay, I'm not going to go get a new bag, so I kind of just carrying everything out, walking in.
not a new bag?
I just was,
He
there
was
a
too
line, and I was
insecure
just
to
gonna
go
move.
back.
be
So-
ashamed of your NASCAR fandom.
So I'm not ashamed of it. I just was just like, it was just kind of walking it out, and I put it in the car, and then I go to get the bag again when I get home, and I pull it out, and it all falls out again. I'm like, why did I put it back in the bag once again? And it was just bizarre. I was like, a classic paper bag. It's the first one I've ever had to rip, though. It wasn't that it ripped; it wasn't sealed on the bottom. But I got a good laugh out of that. But
To answer your question, no, Steve does not have any shame about die casts.
no.
In fact,
No.
one time when I was rolling with him at Target, Steve kung fu snapped one out in front of me, and I was like, "Oh, okay, we came here for you, but I'm your competition right now."
I think it's more if I was buying a lot of anything. Like if, like for example, I wouldn't say it's the shame of buying a diecast or NASCAR. It's like when you go like you go and you buy 10 bottles of Perel. And you're standing in line, and people are looking. They're like, "I'm buying 10 bottles of Perel." Like, you know, people are going, "Oh, this guy's hoarding all that." Or like, when I'm not saying I do, but it's anything you buy. Like, you know, you go and you buy like let's say you go and you're buying 5 packs of big paper towels, and there's only 10 of them over there. You know, it's kind of like, you know, you're buying a big amount of something. It's kind of like, you know, you're that guy, or you're buying all of them.
You gotta just look them square in the eyes, especially if someone's staring at you in public. Just be like, "That's right. I'm doing whatever it is you're thinking. That's right. Call the authorities if you must."
New paper bags are trash. I bought them. The Walmart ones are definitely
What's going on,
trash.
Shani Lang?
I get them. It was a Target one that I had an issue with. Target normally has the best bags anywhere you go. They actually give you decent paper bags. But so no, we were gonna go over last week. We're gonna talk about what the games that we played as a childhood that we went out of our way to beat. It was
Difficult
Difficult game.
The most difficult.
The most
game
difficult one that we actually went through and beat.
Yeah,
Right.
may have been posed in the past, but a couple of years gone. A couple more games have been played, so we'll see if answers line up or whatnot. But what is the most difficult game you've played and finished all the way?
Am I going first?
I'm just presenting the question. If you want,
I'll
to
go first. I
if
talked
you
about
want.
before. Metal Gear for me.
You think so?
I
That was
remember
the
that.
hardest.
My Nate, what?
That was the hardest.
Well, I think honestly, probably one of the only few games I've gone through and actually beat from start to finish. I think that's more of the. But it was actually. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but back in the day when there was no going to look up online and there was no as many strategy guides, and you had Metal Gear, and we were 10. And playing the game, like you don't know, like Psycho Mantis, like can you figure all that out normally? Like that's a pretty difficult boss to beat. You know, you gotta figure out. You gotta put the controller in the second port. Like who does that? Like, does anyone? Who even thinks to do that unless you see it online or you read about it or you hear about it from a friend? Like it wasn't.
Taunt you with it.
Did he say it in the game?
There's something. They stop and it says Hideo 2, but
No.
Yeah, they're like during that fight, as you remember, when you're doing for like 15-20 minutes, because it's easy to dodge when he attacks you, but you're not able to hurt him. It does do things like that, where it's like Hideo 2 and like all these other hints of like I can read your mind and this and that and the other, and then
yeah.
See, I don't remember that. I don't remember if we actually beat. You can beat Psycho Mantis without moving.
I think
over.
you can beat him, but it's hard, and he's
I
gonna
don't
get
think
at
we
you a
should-
lot. Yeah.
I don't think we actually did that. I think we beat him with the. I don't think we ever. I never. When I don't. As a kid, I don't remember ever putting it into the second port. Maybe we. I don't remember. And I remember we were like 10. It was our neighborhood friend. I won't say his name, but we played it, and it was probably for a good. It was during February vacation. It was a winter vacation, and probably for a good 3-4 days straight, like 11 hours a day. Like it was. We're in his basement on the couch, and we did nothing for that amount of those 4 days.
It was us and David Hayter. His
Pretty much.
raspy, smooth voice.
So that's mine. Shane Lane, Final Fantasy VII. Until you get to the Knights of the Round Table. Okay.
It's a good one.
I've heard a lot of people say Final Fantasy is a tough
And then the
one.
Knights of the Round Table, yeah.
All right, so we'll say Mike the last. Steve, you have one?
A game that I actually fell in love with because I couldn't beat it as a kid. Resident Evil 4.
Oh, shit.
And then I always watched my dad play it,
Mhm.
and because I was too scared. I was a wimpy little kid. And my dad would play, and you got to the part where you're in the cabin with the horde of Ganados, and never beat that part. So I was like, oh, I'll give it a try. Never beat. 2015, 2016. I finally beat it, but I don't beat many
I do
games
love that
usually.
game. I've
Yeah,
come
I'm
back
in
and
the
I've
same-
played that
I'm
a
in the
lot of
same thing as
times.
Steve. I just don't play that many games where I've done from start to finish. I mean, in general.
That one pleases the soul.
it will get replaced by Bloodborne when I inevitably beat that one. But the hardest game I have beaten to date, and simply on not letting it win, was was Metal Gear Solid 2 on European Extreme.
Okay.
Because that little bit of that slight chance that Kojima is just going to wring out just 6 more sentences of its storyline for you was well worth beating all those bosses, doing all those mechanics, ducking all those guards or getting rid of the bodies, following all those inane prompts and things. So worth it. So much fun. Although in the style of Dan, the one that we sat down was Final Fantasy X.
Oh, okay.
Like us as the neighborhood kids, I bought the Prima guide, so I was the navigator, and the one kid was the execution, the other kid was the blitzball team management, and in the entire summer we got 100% everything, every single blitzball game, all the weapons, all that stuff. But the toughest was definitely Metal Gear Solid 2 on European Extreme, on the simple premise that maybe Kojima will give me something more.
I'm very pleased that you guys both had
Do you
2
think
where Metal
Bloodborne
Gear
will
Solid.
replace it?
Yes. Oh, yeah. Bloodborne is substantially harder on just in every way because Bloodborne doesn't give you anything. You have to wrestle it from its hands.
And so the Souls family, actually I've never beaten any of them. I've played them all super deep, and I just ended up getting bored with them.
They were too
very
easy for
fun.
Mike, and Mike went, I'm going to go easy on it.
Before you answer, AC Weezy says Jurassic Park Arcade. I think I did play that one.
I like that.
It's a tough
classic.
platformer.
Yeah.
What?
Very
that
cool.
was that PlayStation 1?
I think so. I think I remember seeing the disc, but maybe
It has the what do they call it?
Yep, the shiny case.
Yeah, the Jurassic Park. That's when I played that one in Jurassic Park. I think I don't think I beat it. I got stuck on something. But I did play that one on PlayStation. It has the holographic cover.
Yeah.
Not bad. That's the same one he's talking about. That's a good one. All right, Mike.
So I have a couple honorable mentions first before I get to the hardest one. So first, is on the streaming side, I played Castlevania 1, and that was probably one of the probably top 5 hardest ones I've played. And I recently beat that. Then Mega Man 2, when I finally went through and beat one of those ones. That one was extremely toxic. And then actually on the newer side, the Call of Duty 2, the first one on Xbox 360, I beat that on Veteran.
Which
And
one?
that
Was
was
it Call of Duty?
Call of Duty 2, the World War II one. I beat that on Veteran, and it's like on D-Day, they're all the guns are aiming at you and shooting at only you. It was one of the craziest levels I've played, but definitely the hardest one I'd say is Ninja Gaiden on original Xbox. That game was it was one of the most toxic games I ever played, but it was extremely satisfying.
How long did it take you?
I went back to it a couple of times. The first
If you had
time,
to guess on general, if you put them all together, how long do you think it took you?
probably many hours, at least a day's worth. Hack and slash, it's quick, so it's just getting it down. But
Aren't they getting a remake for Ninja Gaiden?
are they? That'd be news to me. I'd have to struggle with it once again. That's
Master
right.
Collection, it looks like.
First time I played it was a 10, so I didn't beat it all the way through, and then I came back to it like 5-6 years later, and I beat it, and I was like, oh
So
yeah.
they're doing a remastered
Oh, yeah.
version of it?
Yep.
Oh, wow.
The first one,
Sigma 2, and Razor's Edge.
very nice.
It's good.
Flip Juice, Ninja Gaiden, good choice. He
Mhm.
agrees. Do you ever help you out? Okay, what's the game? Is there a game that you and Flip Juice both played together that you guys beat?
For the
Do you
hard,
remember-
probably-
maybe not the hard, but the best one you guys have played together. that
probably
you
the most recent and best one we played is Golden Axe Trilogy on Genesis. That one's some pretty nice teamwork that goes into that. Might have to do it on stream one of these days, but
I think Tom and I did. I think the only one we really did together, campaign-wise, probably only Halo, the first Halo.
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
think we ever really.
that was
did
fun.
We didn't do many campaigns together. Well, there really wasn't many. By the time Tom was playing games, we were in the original Xbox.
By the
It wasn't
time
really-
Tom was playing games, he was embarrassing you in front of your friends.
I don't know about that. So yeah, that's a good segment. I like that. Let's move on to the big topic of the night, the Wii U situation. Do we care about this over here?
Yeah.
I mean, I'll talk for months. So we made a bet a couple weeks ago. Actually, more specifically, Steve fired off his mouth and was wrong that the Wii U was going to sell off for the Wii, and so Steve had to do the "It's over 9,000," and then we had 2 Wii U's, the 8 GB white and then the 32 GB black system, and one of them sold, during my shift, where I tried very hard to sell the white one so that I could win the bet. But the gentleman was not having it. The gentleman was not having it. In fact, he looked me square in the eyes and said, "Do I look like a man who wants a white Wii U?"
That is an interesting question.
And
I feel like a lot of people feel that way with the Wii U's.
It begs to differ. What does a man that wants a white Wii U look like?
And I had to look at him and go, "Yes, sir," and bag it right up.
I mean, the kind of person that wants this glorious white Wii U, yes, you do look like that kind of person.
Dude also bought, I mean, good sale for us as the store, because he bought the Wii U, 2 extra Wiimotes, Wii Sports for the Wii U Sports, and a bunch of other high-end accessories and things, so
Hell
on
yeah.
the end. But Steve has yet to, have you come up with the...
Thinking about it.
He's going to hold it over me for a little while, but as you've seen, if I lose something and I make a bet, I'm a man who holds to my bets. Still can't talk about some things on the streams, but it's fine. It's okay.
Well,
Cry about it
we'll
tonight.
just have to bring it up every week until it gets handled.
I'm going to keep heckling Steve. Steve, what's the punishment? Is it just...
And if it doesn't get handled, it might get sent over to the bishop to deal with. They get put on the bishop's desk.
Think about it, Steve. You could just one free punch anytime.
I don't want to punch you.
I mean, you could though. Just saying, free punch. We're playing instruments. Bam.
I have no reason to punch you.
Do you want me to give you one? I mean, I've pissed off literally everybody else at this table. I can make it yours too.
Come on, punch me, Steve. Do it.
Do it, Steve.
You won't. So
Wow,
we
a
better.
second call from Spectrum today.
If they ring a third time, I get to talk to them.
Yeah, perfect.
Say no.
I don't think we have anything else to go over tonight. Anything else good to talk about? No.
Well, I mean, you know, the Jets.
Yep. They got.
The Jets did a thing, and within an hour.
What they do?
You didn't hear?
You haven't heard?
Well, the Jets received a 6th-round pick in 2021, a 2nd-round pick in 2022, and a 4th-round pick in 2022. Who did they give away for 3 picks to the Carolina Panthers?
The running back. Sam Darnold.
Close.
Sam Darnold.
He's not a running back, but
Sam Darnold.
you have the correct name.
I mean, he is a running back at this point.
No. I was thinking, who's the quarterback there now? Bell. I'm thinking Le'Veon Bell.
That's the running back. What are you talking about? You're all swap.
Stop.
Nope. And nope.
And I thought that the only person really worth them getting away is Le'Veon Bell. And then I remember they have Sam Darnold that they're trying to get rid of. That's what it's for. I thought it was.
See, but both of those things make sense, though. But the fact that the Jets finally punted him away.
Oh, they want the Lawrence kid, right?
Do they have the first? I don't know. The
Pretty
Jags
close.
have the first pick.
Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yeah, they're within the top
But they
5, if
could,
not.
They move off them. They could end up getting him.
It's gonna be sweet James Robinson and Trevor Lawrence working together.
Could very well be it.
But
So I think that's it for this episode of Behind the Counter. We have No Look Podcast coming up next, 7 o'clock with Tyler and Austin. They will be going over a plethora of things. No, I don't
Ask
know how to
them
spell it.
about the Sam Darnold pick. Ask what their
I'm sure
opinions
there'll
are.
be some fresh
They'll be
news, I'm
infinitely
sure.
more articulate about it than we were.
I'm sure they'll be talking about the Masters, Space Jam 2, by the way. A lot of stuff starting to come out. I think the trailer just came out within the last couple of days for that.
We'll see.
I know we got a bunch of pops that just came through for us to order. So Space Jam 2 starting to pick up some media coverage. I don't know when the release date of that is. that probably the fall? Can't be anytime soon, I don't expect. Well, if it just came out with the trailer, maybe it's a month or two away.
I don't know if LeBron can ever match the nostalgia of Michael Jordan and
Yeah.
watching that.
I think
As a
I think it's gonna be
kid.
debacle.
July
But,
July 16th.
It's a summer movie. But yeah, so Tyler and Austin will be going over Space Jam 2, the National Championship, the Masters, and a bunch of other things. So make sure you check them out. No Look podcast tonight, 7 o'clock.
It's going to be one more thing that Michael Jordan was better than LeBron at.
Very, very true. It's possible. And of course, Monday Night Game with Austin to close out tonight. Hope everyone has a great week. We'll see you here back next Monday, 5 o'clock behind the counter. Make sure you check out Mike and Dave on Wednesdays. They have the channel that night, so make sure you check them out. Until then, adios. See you later.